What the f?
I picked this up this morning on the online auction. It's a 2007 Lincoln Town Car with 109,000 miles. Someone wrote Puto on here. Pretty dirty in here, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done any footage on this town car. I've got clips here and there, but I don't even remember what I filmed at this point. This vehicle, when I got it from the auction, the video is on my channel probably 3 months ago. Got it for 600 bucks. After auction fees, I'm into it for around 800. Was. And at the time, it was just very dirty. I think it was an older person's vehicle who passed away, and it was parked because it was just covered in filth and sap and stuff. The interior was disgusting, but it ran great. And the air suspension initially wasn't working, and then all of a sudden it started working again. What I did in the first video was I really scrubbed the hell out of this thing. And you can see now the exterior, I mean, I haven't cleaned it in a while, it's just some pollen on there, but looks nothing like it used to. Still a few cosmetic things I have to take care of, like this bumper in the front. The previous owner did this beautiful Hicktown repair job with tape and spray paint, but the bumper needs to be replaced. So anyway, you only need a few things. I registered it for daily use. I swear to God, the day I did it, it started misfiring later that day. Never had a problem with misfire before. It ran so smooth. Then it started having this little miss. Wouldn't throw a code, a little miss going on. Then I was down in Florida for a bit, came back, missing even worse. And then I get back from Florida, and the passenger side of the car is full of water. And I go, what the hell? I cleaned out all the drains, I was saying to myself, because these always get clogged. You can see it's already all broken because I got impatient, just ripped it out. But I got all the crap out of there. I said to myself, why is there water coming into the cabin? So then that became an issue. So after driving the town car around for quite a while, I managed to finally get it to throw a code. Finally, after really romping on her, and I hate to do that with a misfire, but I needed to know what was going on. And I managed to get the check engine light to flash for a minute and shut off. So fortunately, I was able to pull the history code. It was a cylinder 2 misfire. Now on this 4.6 liter, cylinder 2, there's cylinder 1, cylinder 2, second one in on the passenger side. So I pulled out the coil pack, and I noticed it was all this crap on it that kind of melted on. I'm going to turn my flashlight on here and zoom in to show you what I see. Okay, so looking down into cylinder 2, you can see there's a bunch of liquid. And what I think was going on, I vacuumed out this area before I even looked. But this vehicle had spent a good portion of time parked, and there's still a lot of acorns and things around the intake and coil pack area. I think some stuff had gotten into that area, got in around the boot, and melted into whatever liquid that is. And now obviously that liquid's starting to seep into cylinder 2. So what I need to do is get all that liquid out of that area just above the spark plug before I go to remove the spark plug, clean off the spark plug, put it back in. It looks real bad, I'll replace it, but that's what seems to be what's causing the misfire. So I'm going to go ahead and clean out that area the best I can. I don't want any of that crap going into the engine. And then pull that spark plug out, clean it, replace it if necessary, put it all back together. Hopefully this coil pack is fine. I'm sure it is. But having an issue with water coming into the rear passenger area. Now it could be starting at the front of the car and making its way back there by the time I noticed. I've already taken up all the plastic trim right here, cleaned out all those drains, which is usually the culprit that sends water into the cabin. However, I keep getting water in the cabin. Now, I've been out of town for a few weeks, so it's hard to say when all that water came in, if it was happening over the past couple of weeks every time it rained, or if it was a one-time thing, maybe there was some water still caught in the drains. I'm not sure, but either way, I had to pull this seat out because you can see with all the water that's been getting underneath it, there was some mold and some nastiness, and I have to treat those brackets there for the seat for the rust before they snap in half. Anyway, you can see there was a nice moldy baseball that's saturated underneath the seat. There was like 4 other tennis balls. This guy had an odd obsession with balls. Whoever owned the vehicle before me, a lighter, a couple of cigarette butts, just a very poorly taken care of town car. If you look at the seats, and I've shown this in the previous video, again, you can tell this vehicle sat for a long time. That's probably why all these drains are clogged up and water is getting in the vehicle. There's crayon and all sorts of stains all over the leather. Usually in a vehicle like this, the back seats are in almost brand new condition because people that buy these generally don't have rear passengers unless they're used for transportation services. Look at that center console. It's disgusting. The steering wheel, the key area. All right, so take a look at this. I took the car around the block with the seat out, and that carpet, which was bone dry before I moved the vehicle, is already getting wet. And you can see it's not coming from up here. I think there's just so much water still underneath that carpet from however long this water is getting in here. There has to still be a bunch of water stuck underneath the carpet. So I'm gonna have to cut a hole in that. Oh, look at this. Look at that. It's all coming from right there. Interesting. You can see I pulled the interior trim out just enough to pull the carpet back because I keep getting water, even though I know I've cleaned out those drains that dump the water into the passenger compartment. And here you go. There was still plenty of water hanging out underneath the carpet. I figured that out by touching the carpet. I noticed it kind of moved around like this. It wasn't flat like carpet should be. So I knew there was something underneath the carpet, and what else would it be but water? So you can see that, you know, I'd vacuum up the water back here, but as soon as I drive the car, it'd be wet again. Even though I know I fixed the leak, I was letting the water back here. So you can see, it's a good thing I caught this when I did. Of course, the previous owner of the vehicle was obviously an idiot and ignored this, and it led to rust starting back here, which is unfortunate. I'm going to vacuum all this water out, throw down some POR 15 or something to prevent this from rusting any further, and throw this all back together. I'll drive it around for a bit with the carpet like that just to be absolutely sure there's no more water coming from anywhere. But anyway, let me go ahead and shop vac this out. All right, so I haven't quite filmed everything we did. Things this car has going for it: brand new tires all around. They're Fusion tires, so I'm not crazy about, but they are brand new all around. They're all seasons. They're not like they're snow tires. We just spent all day, my girlfriend and I was holding the camera, cleaning this interior. And believe me, it's not perfect, but these seats were black with filth before. You might remember the first video, this car was disgusting. And we really scrubbed everything, the steering wheel, the seats. Believe me, some of you go down in the comments, you should have used Purple Power, mixed it with the water, then put it up your nostril. We spent hours scrubbing this with every proper chemical I have. This is certainly clean enough. It's probably as clean as the typical town car. The seats were covered in filth before. I mean, they were disgusting. Substantially better. I reinstalled the seat and the carpet, and where I had the water coming in the cabin. I didn't get that on video, but it wasn't much to see. Well, all I did was I went around it with some waterproof caulking and really sealed up. It's kind of like underneath the air box, the vents that are below the glove box. There was water coming through there, so I really went around that, caulked the hell out of it. Should never leak again. So the carpet's reinstalled, the seats reinstalled. We did get rid of the misfire. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier in the video. Thank God it wasn't a PO300, a random misfire. The Fords love to throw those codes. It told me what it was. You can see, well, you really can't tell, but she's running nice and smooth now. I took out the coil pack. Turns out there was, you can still see some pine needles in there. There was a bunch of pine needles and stuff was stuck in here, and they melted, and all the sap went down into the hole for the spark plug, and the spark plug and the coil pack was just, it was like this deep full like sap melt liquid. It wasn't coolant. I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Ooh," wasn't coolant. There's no leak back here by the nipple. There's no other contamination. I checked all the other coil pack plug areas. It was just right there. There was a bunch of stuff stuck that melted. So I cleaned that out and took the spark plug out. I cleaned it, put it back in, put it all back together. Now it runs like $1,000,000. Nice, smooth acceleration. That's gonna be it, guys. You can see she's running great, driving great. And now that we have it clean, it's so much nicer to drive. Before you get in this thing and get out, you feel like taking a chemical shower. Now it's nice and clean. And I'm into this car, all said and done, for $1,000. I haven't spent any more money. This was just time. And you gotta remember, $200 of that was just registering it. So really, I'm into this for $8 something. If I sell it for $2,300, $2,200, good profit right there. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more.